Panagdait sa tanan, and welcome back to Contemporary Philippine Arts from the Regions. Before we proceed to our next lesson, let's have a short recap. On our previous meeting, we discussed about gamaba. Without looking at your notes, kindly define gamaba. Pause the video for a few seconds and play again once you are done answering. Please pause the video now. I will assume that you already have your answer. Let us now check the definition. So we already know that Gamaba stands for Gawad sa Manlilika ng Bayan or the National Living Treasures. It is an award given to recognize the outstanding work of the artist for the preservation of traditional arts of the Philippines which kept the art alive even in the contemporary period. To sum it up, the goal of the Gamaba Award is to keep the traditional arts of the Philippines alive in a way that it will pass down from each generation. Gamaba is an award for those Filipino persons who continue to practice the preservation of the traditional arts of the Philippines. If you want to learn more or to have a recap of our discussion, you may check our previous video discussion. This time, our topic is about the national artists of the Philippines and their contribution. This is just the first part of the discussion. Let's start with the question, what is the National Artist Award? In the previous meeting or discussion, we discussed about Gamaba. It is an award given to those persons who preserves the traditional arts of the Philippines. Kanisi National Artist Award, this is an award given to those people um, who practice or who have exceptional talents or products in the different artistic forms in the Philippines. So it is the highest national acknowledgement given to Filipino people. It is noteworthy commitment to the improvement of the Philippine expressions. So Philippine expressions, those artistic expression that we have discussed on our first lesson. So the different types of art in the Philippines. So if you want to achieve this National Artist Award, you might need to practice at least one of those Philippine art expressions. So the difference between Gamaba and National Artist Award is their purpose. Again, Gamaba, iyahang main goal is to preserve the traditional art. By that, the artworks being produced is based on traditional arts in our country. While the National Artist Award, it is not necessarily focused on the traditional arts. It can be in any form or any type of artwork, given that it is originally made by the Filipino artists. So, it is directed by the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, or the NCCA, and the Cultural Center of the Philippines, CCP. So, um, the next one is the National Artist Award was built up in 1972. So, it started in 1972 um, by President Ferdinand Marcos. And we have here the first National Artist Awardee, Ferdinand Amorsolo. And sadly, he was given the award, the National Artist Award after he passed away. But that's the start of the National Artist Award, no? So, after niya naka-receive sa National Artist Award, nanadayon mga nisunod nga mga national artists of our country. So, the national artists of the Philippines are based on a broad criteria as set forth by this Cultural Center of the Philippines and the NCCA. If you can still remember, in order for us to achieve the Gamaba Award, as we've discussed last meeting, nato i-follow nga criteria or guidelines. So, the same ra gyapon diri sa National Artist Award. Different guidelines for us to achieve these awards. So, we need to follow these criterias if we want to receive this specific award. First, you need to be a living artist who have been a Filipino citizen for the last 10 years prior to the nomination, as well as those who have died after the establishment of the award in 1972 but were Filipino citizens at the time of their death. So, the very first na to nga criteria or requirement is dapat Pinoy gyud ta. We are a Filipino citizen. Not necessarily born Filipino but a citizen, a person who is living in the country for at least 10 years, or not just living in the country but a person who is or a person who is called a Filipino. Artists who have helped build a Filipino sense of nationhood through the content and form of their works. So, since National Artist Award man siya from the word national, meaning the artwork should also represent our country. It should honor and give glory to our country. Artists who have distinguished themselves by pioneering in a mode of creative expression or style, making an impact of succeeding generations of artists. So, if you have noticed, kaning national artist of the Philippines nag-start siya atong 1972. It is a very long year na no. But as of now, naa pa lang tayo probably more or less 66 National Artist Awardee. That is because according to number 3 na tong criteria, the artist should have a distinguished pioneering mode of creative expression or style. Meaning, the artwork that you are going to produce should be unique, original, or not just original, katujong term nga unique atong gamiton. Meaning to say, the artwork is something influential. Sige, aside from being unique and original, it should give impact or dapat madala pa siya sa laing generation of artists. Say, for example, kaning mga artworks that is produced by the national artists of our country, those are examples of artworks that are giving impact to the succeeding generation nga naman. Because although those artworks are being created how many years ago, at until now manggod naagyapon sila and ginastudyan gyapon sila sa mga courses or subjects that is handling arts. Like for example, kaning subject nato karon. In our next meeting, we'll be discussing the different national artists, few of the different national artists since daghan magud kay sila, selected ra ato ang i-discuss kay dili po nato sila makayag discuss tanan. So that is an example of making an impact to succeeding generations. Although dugay na sila nahimong national artists, until today, the year 2021, ginasadihan gyapon nato sila because again, ilang artwork is unique and the it has an impact to the world of arts in our country. Artists who have created a significant body of work and have consistently displayed excellence in the practice of their art form, enriching artistic expression or style. I forgot to mention that one of the most important characteristics of becoming a national artist is to be consistent with the type of art form that we are producing. It is true, although it is true that most of us practice different artworks. Naiuban nga mo kanta, mo sayaw pud sila, naiuban mo painting, tapos mo manguban mo painting while mo sayaw pud sila, kabalo pud sila mo kanta. According po sa tuang criteria for National Artist Award, you need to choose only one. You need to practice only one art form, or you need to register in only in one art form. Dili pwede nga nagpa-register ka to become a National Artist Awardee for Architecture while nagpa-register po ka for dance. So dapat mo-focus ra kag isa ka artwork. So there are lots of reasons behind that, no? The first one is focus. Syempre, we become excellent kung mag-focus sa tag isa ka butang. If ever manggod magduhaon na to or more, di ba naman tay saying nga, if you chase two hares at once, you will catch neither. So wala kay madakpan. So ang main point ani niya is to have a focus. Hindi na maglisod. Artists who enjoy broad acceptance through prestigious national or international recognition, awards and producers national or international events, critical acclaim or reviews of their works, or respect and esteem from peers within an artistic discipline. As an so dili pasabot nga national artist sa Philippines ra ka mailhan. Most of our national artists manggo that is written already, or that has already given rewards, are artists from different parts of the world. So madiscuss ra nato na siya later. There are artists nga naka-receive og national award although ilahang artwork is naa sa gawas. sige, it gives honor, it still gives honor to our country nga naman. 'Di ba ang mga Filipino is hilig kay na sila, for example sa phrase nga proud to be Pinoy, even though that specific artwork is not purely Filipino, although gi-influensya sa laing nga country, given that it was made by a Filipino, so that is enough already for us to become influential, or that is already an enough attribute of becoming a National Artist Award because you are giving honor to our country. Kung makahimo manggutag, let's say for example, an artwork nga musikat sa laing nasod, syempre, ang complement ana is dili lang kay katong art sa artist mo reflect but also sa country, 'di ba? If hilig mo social media karon, most of the people living outside sa tong country, they think nga tanang Pinoy maayo mo kanta, kay lagi mostly mga talented manggod nga nag abroad sa atua is mga Filipino nga nag-abroad is kana yung mga singers bitaw, bale mas dagag singer ang nailhan sa Philippines compared to other art forms. So medyo na generalize na pod sa mga tao sa laing nasod nga maayo daw tanan mo kanta ang mga Filipino. But anyway, that is just an example no for this criteria. So if you want to become a National Artist Awardee, so I do hope nga naa sa to ang section pod no. So you only need to follow these criteria. Okay, this time, let's proceed to the national artist of the Philippines. So, limited naman natong time and we have lots of artistic expression. Actually, in each artistic expression, na jud tay mga more than 10 nga artists nga naka-receive og award. But in our subject, we will just discuss few of them. Kaya again, di nato sila makayag discuss tanan. The first one is Pablo S. Antonio. He is a national artist for architecture. He received his award on 1976. His basic design is grounded on simplicity, no clutter. The lines are clean and smooth, and where there are curves, these are made integral to the structures. So, here are the example or some of the architectural work of Pablo Antonio. Manila Polo Club, Ideal Theater, Lyric Theater, Galaxy Theater, Capitan Luis Gonzaga Building, Boulevard Alhambra, now it is called Bel Air Apartment, Ramon Rosas Poblacion Building, which is now called Guzman Institute of Electronics. So here are some of the photos sa iyang architecture sa iyang buildings, Far Eastern University, and we have the Capitan Luis Gonzaga Building. Then we have Leandro Vlloxin, still in the National Artist for Architecture. He received his award on 1990. So, kani siya, okay, he reshaped the urban landscape with a distinctive architecture reflective of Philippine art and culture. He believed that the true Philippine architecture is the product of two great streams of culture, the Oriental and the Occidental. To produce a new object of profound harmony, it is this synthesis that underlies all his works, with his achievement in concrete reflecting his mastery of space and scale. So, okay. Loxin's largest single work is the Istana Nurul Iman, the palace of the Sultan of Brunei. So, the following are the different products of Luxin. Let's proceed to the next slide. So, here is an example of his architectural work, the Istana Nurul Iman. This is the palace of the Sultan of Brunei. As I've said earlier, dili necessary nga sa country ra ka naka-build or naka-produce mong artwork. In this example, this is a palace, palasyo nga makita sa Brunei, and if you try to research it in Google, you might found out that appeal siya sa Guinness Book of Record. I'm not kakalimot ko kung unsa to iyang award na receive ani, but aside from being a National Artist Award, kani nga architecture is na-appeal po siya sa Guinness Book of Records. So i-research na lang na ninyo if you have the time. So aside ani na pa siya lain nga mga architectural work, but this time maura niya akong gi-present because I think this is the one of the best works nga iyang na-produce. Next, we have the National Artist for Theater and Film. So, Lamberto T. Avellana, he received his award on 1976. He is the director for theater and film, has the distinction of being called the boy wonder of the Philippine movies as early as 1939. He was the first to use the motion picture camera to establish a point of view, a move that revolutionized the techniques of film narration. So si Canisi Lamberto, he is one of the pioneering persons for theater and film. That's why he is a very important person in the world of Philippine arts. Bali, pioneering man gud siya or siya ang one of those people nga ga-start sa film. Introduced. He declared the best picture of 1939 by critics and journalists alike and set the tone for Avellana's career in film that would be capped by such distinctive achievements as the Grand Prix of the Asian Film Festival in Hong Kong for Anak Dalita. So, he also received lots of awards, no, aside from being a national artist. Best Director of Asia award received in Tokyo. Among others, Avellana was also the first filmmaker to have his film Candilerong Pilak shown at the Cannes International Film Festival. Among the films he directed for worldwide release were Sergeant Hassan, Destination Vietnam, and The Evil Within. So he is also an international artist. So technically, kaning National Artist Award, this is actually the highest. It is mentioned already, no, that it is the highest form of um, awards given to an artist. And you can also see the reasons for that. So aside from that, kani si Avellana, wala siya ning basa-basa na himong national artist. Dili pasabot nga na siya awards sa lain nga mga events, gihimo na siya automatic nga national artist. It is also with the help of the people, the help of the critics and the experts. He was nominated and then medyo taas-taas pa pog process. But anyway, concrete ma pong evidence, no, why he is deserving of becoming a national artist. He also have the nonal sa tubig. He was recognized as the director of the decade in 1970s by Catholic Mass Media Award, fourth-time Best Director by the Urian Awards. So 1989, 1985, 1983, and 1977. So ikaupat yun niya na-receive ang award and given the Asian Cultural Award in Communication Arts in 1993. The next one is Fernando Poggioni, National Artist for Cinema. Kaganina is theater and film director man to siya. Karon, let's proceed to an artista. He received his award on 2006. Okay, Ronald Allen K. Poe, popularly known as Fernando Poe Jr., was a cultural icon of tremendous audience impact and cinema artist and craftsman as actor, director, writer, and producer. So, it is indeed no question, no, nga no naka-receive siya award because even today, kaila gyapon kayo tang Fernando Poe Jr. He is very influential. The image of the underdog was projected in his films such as the following are some of the films he produced and aside ana film nga naapod siya. So after the death of his father, he dropped out of school. So short history lang pod niya. The University of the East in his sophomore year to support his family. He was the second of the six siblings. He married actress Susan Roses in a civil ceremony in December 1968. He died on December 14, 2004. 2004 siya namatay but he was given the National Artist Award on the year 2006. So patay na siya ning naka-receive siya sa award. So mao ni ang gi-mention kaganina that even this is also appeal included in the criteria that even though that you are dead, given that you are an artist and you are na-shoot, na-capture to nimo tanan nga mga criteria, maskin pag dugay na ka namatay, anyone can receive the National Artist Award. Okay, that's the end of our lesson for today. Next meeting, we will continue the discussion of the different national artists of the Philippines. We'll proceed to the different art expressions na pod. And then, I do hope that you learned a lot today, no? Although short ratong discussion, and I expect pod nga gets ra pod ang difference ni Gamaba and the National Artist Awards. Anyway, if you have questions, you are always free to contact me using the messenger, and then do not forget to answer the activities in Genu before the deadline. Thank you, class, for coming, and see you again next meeting.